You've probably seen this before. Someone really intelligent in a story, someone who can solve problems as easy as anything, better than anyone else. But despite being really smart, they lack social intelligence and generally they're not very nice to their peers. It comes under the name of the insufferable genius trope, where dare I say, it's really, really common, but it doesn't really work like that in real life. Before we get into this, story time. In 1995, there was a man called McArthur Wheeler. He decided to rob a bank at gunpoint. He pointed the gun at the cashier and tried to take everything he could. It didn't take long for police to find him because he seemingly made no effort to cover his face. No mask or anything. He wasn't drunk, he wasn't on bath salts or any other substance. He didn't suffer any psychiatric condition. So why did he do this? Why did he walk into a bank with his face full on display? It turns out he thought he did conceal his face. And when he was arrested, he said, "But I wore the juice." What? Turns out he saw somewhere that lemon juice on paper can conceal writing, which, yeah, it does. He's right there. It can conceal writing, and under certain light you can see it, but he took that as lemon juice on an object would make that object invisible, sort of like the invisibility ink from Tom and Jerry. Now, despite being a rather comical tale of some dumb criminal doing some dumb stuff, it's an example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect, simply put, is the less experienced you are in a field, the more you're going to overestimate your skill. And this man knew very little about the topic and therefore extrapolated and assumed he could apply that in a field where in reality he couldn't be. Often it's shown on a graph where experience goes along the bottom and confidence goes along the top. In this case, he will be on the top left. And the line on the graph shows it going straight up at the beginning, but ever so slightly the confidence wanes as experience increases. When we first learn about a topic, we may think it to be a lot simpler than it actually is. But the more we learn, the more we realise how much we didn't know back then, and therefore start to second guess and question our knowledge now. And the reason why I bring this up is those who are truly skilled in their field, like truly skilled, not those who think that they are, generally don't overestimate their own skill. Their egos generally are kept under control and they make a concerted effort not to be arrogant about something, because the likelihood is there is someone who knows more about a topic than you. And at one point, those people who are incredibly skilled in their field, at one point would have way overestimated their skill. And they may look back at that and just cringe at how much they overestimated it, and maybe they think, oh, I don't want to overestimate my own skill in this field. But confidence isn't a bad thing, but it has to be something that is proportional. And you tend to think those who are overconfident to the point of arrogance really aren't as skilled as they think they are. It's rare you find an insufferable arse who's actually really skilled at a topic. It's rare, but it can happen. But it's not so rare in media. Look at Gregory House.
Who are you?
I'm the doctor who's trying to save your son. You're the mom who's letting him die.
He's skilled in his field and uses many different ways to find all these rare diseases that people are suffering from and saving their lives. But he's also rude, arrogant, and at points narcissistic. He's disrespectful to his colleagues, his boss, and even his patients.
This is what she wanted. She wanted her organs to help.
She never wanted to be kept alive on a ventilator.
She's not. She's dead. She's not in pain. She's not suffering. It's just her meat we're dealing with here.
It's stated in the series, if he wasn't as good as he is at his job, he wouldn't be employed there.
The only reason why I don't fire you is because your reputation is still worth something to this hospital.
Excellent. We have a point of agreement. You're not going to fire me.
So narratively, it makes up for it. His genius excuses his bad behaviour. His bad behaviour isn't a symptom of his genius. But the reason why this is so prevalent in media isn't because it's based in truth. Like, most tropes aren't based in truth, but it offers contrast. You have positive attributes like genius and being smart and intelligent, but also contrasting with the negative characteristics. With House being a doctor, he is dealing with people every day. Now, often he's misanthropic and really doesn't like people, which on the surface could be seen as a contradiction. Like, why would you work with people or try to help people if you really don't like people? But also he's finding out what's wrong with people, either medically or personally.
You're an ass.
That is a bold position to take, given that I shot you.
The shooting just makes you an idiot. You're an ass because you're trying to wrap it in the flag like you did a good thing.
You're an ass and a hypocrite. You don't believe in rules. You do whatever you think is right. That's all I did.
So that does mesh well together. It's not a contradiction, it's a contrast. If House was portrayed as a genius and a nice person, it will be, oh great, there's this person who gets on with everyone and solves everything. Where's the drama in that? You need conflict to have drama. And often drama and conflict is at its most engaging when it's driven by the protagonist. So therefore, the character of Gregory House works. It's a trope because it's been shown to work time and time again. And the whole point of an insufferable character is you're not supposed to empathise with them 100%. In fact, no protagonist you should be. You shouldn't be unchallenged by your media. Which is ironic because something that tends to be more rare than the media would bring us to believe, it does speak truth to our life. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.